I don't know what I really need to vlog about today. I just got back. You'll forgive me, I'm sweaty and messed up from just taking my walk. It's pretty hot and pretty humid out. So, oh, there's something on there. Oh, I wanted to talk about last night. My sleep had one of those nights. It was torture. Woke up around 2-ish, I don't know, and heart pounding, felt like the bed was moving like this, just awful. I laid there probably for, oh my gosh, I don't know, over an hour or more. I couldn't go back to sleep as hard as I tried. Then, of course, when I did fall back to sleep, I had a startling nightmare that brought me right back out of sleep. And then my heart felt like it was racing, pounding, you know, the adrenaline, cortisol, all of it. So I didn't get good sleep last night. Before I went to bed last night, before I turned the lights off, it was unusual, but I was having flashes of anxiety, and forgive me, something's stuck on my ring. And of course, you know, I just kept trying to distract and ignore it, and distract and ignore it, but it was difficult to do that, to say the least. I had a conversation with my stepmother yesterday. She came over and talking about, you know, where I'm at, and she said, I think you've gotten way better. I was like, really? Well, you're doing way more than you were last summer. She goes, you're taking the kids almost every other day. She goes, last summer you'd go weeks without seeing them. You're driving places. You're doing so much more. And I said, you know, no, I don't think I'm better. I think I'm just, this is my life, this is how I am, and I'm not going to get better, and so I have to just do things. Feeling like crap. Feeling like garbage. And on the days that I can drive and on the days that I can walk around, I do it. But I don't feel better. Other than a week ago today. Today's Sunday. And last Sunday I went on the boat. Other than that, been crap all week. Had that day that my head was really severely bad again. So I said, no. And really, I'm not doing anything to get better other than taking the LDN, and I don't know about the LDN either. So, I don't know what to say. My younger daughter and her husband are coming over a little while. Hang out at the pool with my husband and I. We're going to make chicken avocado salad, and we'll just hang out. And tomorrow it's supposed to get in the 90s, but thunderstorms. And then Tuesday it's supposed to get some violent thunderstorms, lightning thunderstorms and rain. So try to enjoy today while I can. But working on like very little sleep, and the sleep I got was very disturbed sleep. I was wired in my sleep. Does that make sense? That you're sleeping, but you can feel that you're just wired because you toss and turn a lot, and you just don't feel like you're really just settling down. Oh, you know? My husband's over there, and I'm like, what is that like to just be really asleep? Some people on the MDDS board were talking about they take their Klonopin all in the morning. And I said, I've been breaking it up forever, and now I'm afraid I won't get any sleep if I take the whole dose in the morning. but they're saying that the Klonopin does the most for the MDDS. If you take it in one big chunk, I don't know what to do. And also, you know, should I go back on to an SSRI? I've been off of it for 3 years now. And going back on, getting on an SSRI for me has never been easy. I always have pretty severe side effects from it. For instance, I get anxiety when I didn't have any, and very heightened anxiety, sleeplessness, stomach upset, stuff like that, until it kicks in. And so I'm like, do I want to go there? Do I want to do that? But could it help? You know, I don't know what to do about my head. So that's where I'm at today. My head's not bad. I just feel worn out is a good word. And I did, even though I just walked 3 miles in the heat, I feel very worn out. So, hope this is finding all the rest of you in a better spot. But we'll see how the day progresses. Like I said last night, I felt the mal débarquement. You know, my bed felt like I was rocking. The bed felt like I was on a boat. I was like, oh Lord, really? So, I'll check in with you guys later, maybe not. Another day down. My head felt woozy and wishy-washy the entire day. It did not let up at all, but it didn't get to like stroke like feeling. My neck has hurt more today. When I move it, it's not hurting just with non-movement. But I spent the whole day out at the pool with my husband and my daughter and her husband, son-in-law. It was gorgeous, hot, but gorgeous. And so we stayed in the pool. I just stayed in the pool the whole day until I got the call from my mother. And I went over there because she needs to get out of her apartment. And she was very gracious. She was very sweet this time. I took her down and we sat outside in the back of her building where they have a patio and patio furniture. And by this time in the late afternoon, the shade was hitting it. So it was nice and cool. And we sat out there for a good hour. Another old lady came out, and 91 years old, sharp as a tack, and which kept my mother entertained. But before I had gone over there, you know, my mother had called and I put her on speaker, and my husband and son-in-law and daughter were all listening to the conversation, which goes on every single day. You got to take me home. I got to get out of here. She started crying. I can't take this. And I got off the phone. My daughter was like, why don't you hire a companion? Because I know she has home health aides, but they just come in and get meals and do the, you know, that stuff. Maybe if you hire somebody outside to just literally take her somewhere, take her to the grocery store, take her for a walk around the building, you know, just get her out of the apartment. I was like, you know what? Not a bad idea. They have those people that they're just companions, and they do that. They'll take people shopping and take them out. But then I got home after seeing my mom, and I said to my husband, why am I not just doing this? I'm not doing anything else. And I know it's stressful. But why should I pay somebody else to do something that I am capable of doing? Getting her in my car and taking her places. Like, I've never attempted to take her into a Walmart. or grocery store. Not in 2 years. But they have. I mean, she wouldn't be able to drive one of those, little carts. I don't think she could figure it out. But they have wheelchair shopping carts that I could push her in. Is it a lot of work? Yes. But while the weather is the way it is, maybe I should make a real big effort to do that, to get her out of that apartment at least every other day. Not every day, but every other day. She has something to look forward to. It will keep her from driving me batty with the take me home, take me home, take me home business. So we'll see. We'll see. My husband was saying the same thing that my stepmother was saying. You do seem better, honey. And I said, I'm not better. I really am not. I'm just living with this now. This is how my head is. So I was in the pool and I felt like I was suffering. I'm swimming, or I'm on a floaty, this big floating chair. I'm in a beautiful pool. The water's beautiful. The sun is shining. I'm with my husband and my daughter and her. And yet I felt like I was suffering because my head is doing this. And I'm like shaking my head, and I'm holding my head, and I'm, trying to pretend, thank God I wore sunglasses so nobody could see me rolling and bugging my eyes out the whole day, but I just do it. Because this is how it's been for so long. So I'll have to get back on this, whether or not I can really manage. Not having a car, for the most part, makes it difficult for me to just, I can walk over to her apartment, I can ride my bike, but it wouldn't mean me taking her out until my husband gets home. But I would take her out of the apartment and sit outside when the weather's nice, that kind of thing. I don't know. Went to church last night, and the word was very good about abiding in Christ. And the question that was posed to us is, how you doing? How you doing with your walk with the Lord? Your prayer life? Your connection with others? It was the assistant pastor who preached last night, and he lost, I believe, because I just started going to this church, I think it was a child. I don't know if it was a son or a daughter, and I don't remember how old. I'll have to ask my daughter, who's been going there for years, the details, but he's lost a child not too long ago. And he's a man about a little older than my daughter, my oldest daughter. So he's gone through a tragedy, and he's up there saying that God only wants the best for us. He only wants the best for us. And it's because we live in a fallen world that we have all this pain and suffering. But it's not God doing it. And I know all this. What I can't seem to understand is why he doesn't stop it. That's my question. Okay, Lord, why can't you just make it stop? Because you know you could. I know he can make it stop at any time. And he just, why doesn't he? So I'll probably add this to whatever I do tomorrow, because this is... Oh. And I also meant to... Somebody reached out to me who I haven't talked to in a long time about benzos. I thought I had thought that we had no contact, and she's still tapering, and I get mixed messages because people on the MDDS board say Klonopin's the only thing that helps them function. Without it, they wouldn't be able to function at all. And I believe that would be true with me. If I stopped taking my Klonopin altogether, I don't think I'd be able to function at all. I think that I'd be bedridden. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to turn the TV on, watch a little TV. Chill out. God bless. Popping in. It's Monday, the 16th. And I finished my 3-mile walk. I had no intention of doing the 3 miles because it's heat advisory. It's already in the high 80s and real feels in the 90s. It's going to hit 100 again today. But I went ahead and did it and walked the 3 miles, and I'm very not well. Thank God my house is a half a block away now. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit, and I'll come back on later, hopefully. Well, I recovered. Got home and heart was 120 beats a minute, which is really out of control for me. I felt very faint. I should know better than to walk 3 miles in that kind of heat with being sick. Only healthy people can do that, and I'm not healthy by any stretch of the imagination. Anyway, I'm gonna go out to the pool because I have nothing better to do, and I can't just sit here. That's the way I am. I just cannot sit on my computer or trying to read. Feel my head was clearer before I took my walk, but I was more anxious. Now I'm not anxious and my head is not clear again. So, but maybe I'll wait a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm babbling because I don't know what to do with myself. It's so hot. And yet I don't want to be inside. Even in the pool, the sun is just beating down on you. What do? You know? I guess if the kids were over or something, I'd have an excuse that I had to be out there. But I don't even know what they're doing today. I would imagine they're probably out on their boat. That's what they do. I'll check in later. Okay. End of the day. Where did I leave off? That I had to come in because it was so hot. Even being in the pool, 102 degrees just was too much for my brain. Then of course I got the phone call from my mother. We're noticing that it's getting to be a trend. It's 3:34, between 3:30 and 4:30 she's calling, and that's when she's agitated and she can't take it anymore. So I went over there, and just as I was getting off the elevator and going down her hall, she was coming out of her apartment to go home, and I had to show her on her door, this is 214, look on your bracelet. I got her that medical alert bracelet. Look at what's the number of the apartment on that. Now, I don't care what you say. And calmed her down, brought her back in, sat with her, talked with her, got her dinner. So this will be my new thing. I need to go over there every single day until we get her moved. I'm over there every single day practically anyway, so. And then I went out and got me my new necklace. The other one that had the 3, it kept getting twirled up and nasty, and you know, I like to have an everyday necklace, and so this is my little, makes me happy. But it's so hot and so muggy, and it's getting cloudy now, so we're supposed to have thunderstorms pretty severe rolling in, and maybe that will break up the heat, because whoa, was it hot. When my husband gets home and doesn't get in that pool, he lives in the pool. He didn't even go out. He went outside and turned right around and went back, and he goes, it's just too hot to even be out here at all. I was like, wow. Excuse me, for him not to go out in the pool, that's something. So I think I've talked myself out of trying to hire somebody to be a companion to my mom, because Lord only knows who I would get, and if it wasn't somebody who was really, really putting themselves out there to try to ingratiate themselves with my mother would not like them and not want them around and be just horrid. And then I'd get a phone call anyways. As soon as they leave, an hour later, she'd call me. Her favoriteest aide was there for breakfast and lunch today. And I said something about, she said, I haven't seen any aides today. And I go, Mom, Lisa was here. No, she wasn't. And I go, oh my gosh. I open up the refrigerator. Lisa had brought some slices of watermelon, and I pull out the leftover slice, and I said, really? Where did you get this from? She goes, I have no idea. And I go, Lisa brought this for you for lunch, with your lunch. Because she's always doing that. She's always buying a slice of pizza or getting a hot dog or doing something a little special when she comes. She's always doing the extra. And, you know, bringing that watermelon was really sweet. No pun intended. But my mother had no recall of it because it was at lunchtime. And like I said, it's between lunch and dinner, my mother is getting really squirrely. Really squirrely. So, my head has stayed at a steady fog. Earlier, I felt a lot of pressure in the back of my head and my side of my head. Lots of pressure. Eyes blurring. I've had a lot of problems with my eyes today. But it's been just a constant wishy-washy wackadoodle. But I've just gone through it. So, Lord willing, we'll be back at this again. God bless, and take care.